Hey everyone, welcome to week one of spring term. Here we are, we're doing this. So let's go ahead and pull up our slides as usual, and let's talk about what we're going to be looking at this week. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit first about the structure of the course for this term, I guess. So for right now, the plan is that videos are going to be uploaded daily by your class period. So not every day, but every day that you would have had class if we were doing a normal schedule. And we can expect those videos and any relevant assignments or resources to sort of go live and become unlocked at the start of your normally scheduled class period. So I believe that what Canvas does is it will sort of adjust those times relative to your time zone. So it may not necessarily open up at your class period in Eastern time. If it does, keep me posted. I don't think that it does. I think it is, unique to your time. But do let me know if this becomes an issue for anyone. I know, fortunately, a lot of us in this group are in Eastern time, but we do have some who are in different time zones. So hopefully we're able to find some solutions that are going to work for everyone. As far as what to look for each day, we're just starting out, so still trying to figure out what the rhythm of this is going to look like. But I think for now, what we're going to sort of go for is we're going to plan on each day during your class period having daily discussions or practice problems or check-ins with me or some sort of something that's going to kind of vary depending on what we're doing. Keep in mind that when I give a time in general that's going to be Eastern time, this is going to come up quite often, I think, until we start to get used to what this really looks like in practice. But again, I think that in terms of when Canvas releases stuff, I think that it's going to be relative to your time, but any other times that I note are generally going to be in Eastern. So for conference period, for example, those times are Eastern time. So if you're having trouble figuring out how that relates to what the time is where you are, again, just let me know. We can work together and figure out what's happening. Please call me with any questions. Shoot me an email and say, hey, Miss Finney, I've got a question. I'd like to talk over Zoom. I would really love to see you guys. And I'd really appreciate, being able to answer those questions. It's, a bummer not being able to see you all in person. And so any way that I can, get a hold of you guys would be really great. I've gotten a few of these emails from folks already. I think about half the class has gotten sort of ahead of things and already sent these out, but I've asked you to, by the end of the day today, so Monday, I'd like you to send me your mailing address, so a place where you can receive like physical OG mail, and tell me if you could like just roughly rate like how sunny your sunniest window in your home is. I'm going to be sending out seed kits, and so these are going to have everything you need to grow a little plant of your own, and my hope is that these will be good to go and, growing for everyone. I'm choosing seeds that reflect your environment, your climate, and the availability of sun that you have. So I'm really, really hoping that this works out. It'll be really, really cool if it does. I'll be periodically asking you to send me plant updates. I feel like a little plant grandma. It's very cool. So do let me know how they're doing, and maybe we can troubleshoot if they're not doing so well. Let's talk about quizzes. So as you all know, this term is going to be pass-fail. So everything is pass-fail too. Not just the final grade, but everything. So that being said, we are still going to have like assessments, but they're going to look maybe a little bit different than we're used to having. So you'll have quizzes still. Quizzes will be part of this, but the way we're sort of envisioning this is that, your quizzes will all be online, obviously, and the goal is to have them be open book. And so your quizzes will be open book. You'll be able to have your notes all there, and ready for them. And then the answers will be available to you after each time the quiz is completed. So this is really for your benefit, so that you're able to see what those correct answers are and see where you went wrong. So they won't be graded except for completeness. So you have to do the quizzes. You can't just opt out of them, but they won't be graded numerically. So for some people, this is probably like a huge relief. For some people, this probably feels like, what the heck are we doing? And some people are maybe in between. And wherever you fall on feelings about this is totally fine and valid and normal. Please be in touch with me if you have any questions. We'll have a quiz coming up probably next week, I'm guessing, but more information on that as things start to kind of congeal and come together. So one other thing I want to address before we start talking about our stuff for today is I want to, sort of address the big, viral elephant in the room, which is COVID-19. The reason we're, here and doing this and, trying all this new stuff and, not together at school, right, where we'd like to be. And so there's a lot of different places that people are falling in terms of their readiness and willingness to talk about this. This is the most prominent issue of our time right now. This is a really, really big deal. It's, it's scary and new and uncertain. And there's a lot of feelings circulating, and a lot of different people's situations are going to influence maybe how they feel about that situation, maybe your geographic location, or what's going on in your community or your family can influence how you're feeling about this situation. And again, for that, wherever you're feeling about this is totally valid and normal and fine. But I want to give everybody the option, in this space at least, to opt out of having those discussions if you're not ready or willing to have them. And so with a solution that I've come up with for this for now, and this again may evolve, everything could evolve as we go, but the solution we've got for right now is to have sort of a designated COVID-19 discussion space. So this is going to be a discussion board where, if you want to talk about, the current news or how this is impacting you or your community, or if you have biology questions, I am absolutely 100,000,000% willing to talk to you about those things and answer questions. And, there's a lot of misinformation going around. And if you have questions, or you're feeling uncertain, or you just want to vent about what's going on right now, this is the space to do that. I ask that you keep all of those conversations to that discussion board space, or to sort of one-on-one video calls with either me or your peers who are willing to have those conversations, so that everybody has the option to choose, how much exposure to that topic they're getting right now. And if you have any questions about this, please shoot me an email. We can talk over Zoom, or we can talk over email, or we can talk some other way. But let me know what you're feeling about this, and if you have any questions. So this video is actually going to be, I guess maybe in some ways shorter, in some ways longer. We're actually not talking about any content today. That'll be our next video, so Tuesday, that'll come up. That'll be our first time that we're working with any content for the term. And so for today, we're gonna bring it down a little bit. So we're gonna talk about some bummers. And so I want to start off by talking about the fast fashion industry. Some of us may be familiar, some of us may not be. That's okay. One of our big topics that we're going to look at this term is going to be sustainability and environmental responsibility. You're going to have a term project that's going to focus around this. And again, more on the term project as we start to move a little bit closer. We'll actually be beginning our conversations about that particular assignment by the end of the week. We'll start to pair up and have those discussions. But for today, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to check in with your assigned partners. So I will be posting up a list of partners, so pairs within the class for you to video call with. So I would really love you to do this as a video call. It's so important that we see each other and that we are, remaining as connected as possible while things are really weird right now. So please video chat each other. You can use Zoom, you can use FaceTime, you can use Skype, I don't care, whatever you want to use. But use one of those, like see each other, please. That would be very cool. And, I've paired you up mostly by time zone. So the hope is that you'll be able to I've put you with someone where the hope is that you'll be able to easily find a time that will work for you. Again, many of us are in Eastern time already, so this isn't really an issue. But, some of us are in other time zones. And so I've tried to put people who are in more similar time zones together, even if they are not in the same time zone. So we can sort of work that out. But so you'll be in pairs, and we'll start this assignment off by reading this article that I've posted about the fast fashion industry. So I'd like you to read those articles separately and then come together and have a quick video chat. I'd like you to talk about this topic and just whatever comes up, reflecting on the article, reflecting on current events, reflecting on previous knowledge, reflecting on your opinions and thoughts, and sharing those with each other for at least 15 minutes. I want this to be at minimum 15-minute call. Go longer if you want to. Go nuts. I don't care. Also, there's your TA for the term, Nano. He's decided to say hi right now, so maybe he'll make an appearance in this video. That'd be cool. So after you've had your discussion, one person in your group is going to be responsible for posting, and I'm actually going to move my screen. I'm realizing now that it's in the way. Now I'm moving all around. So one person in your group is going to be responsible for posting a summary of your discussion in the discussion boards as a new thread. So have your conversation, one person post a summary of what you talked about as a new thread in that discussion board. And so then once each group has done that, each person in the class, I would like you to respond to 2 of those prompts. So post your response to 2 separate summaries of people's discussions. These should be like real responses, right? Like, so I don't want you just saying, I agree. That doesn't count. That doesn't mean anything. So please come up with some real responses, some real reflective responses to your peers' writing, to their work. Be respectful of each other in that way. And I'd like a paragraph minimum for your responses. So one person writes a summary, and then each person in the class has to write 2 paragraphs total. So 2 different responses, 1 paragraph each. Good? Yes, good. I'm assuming you're agreeing. I would like you to have all of those completed by midnight tomorrow. So tomorrow being Tuesday, so Tuesday by midnight. Again, my hope is that this accounts for everybody in kind of funky time zones. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work yet, but please let me know if we need extensions due to time zone challenges, whatever winds up coming up. Just please keep me posted. We're trying to figure all this out together and try to make it work for everyone. So I think that is mostly it. I think that is pretty much all I have for you guys today. So with that, I would like to share the video I've been watching about 100 times today.